.net. All right, the only Terran in our group and the best player from StarCraft 1, he is
Master KT Roaster Flash.
his opponent in the upper left, the underdog. He is
New challenger LGIM RagnaroK.
Well, Tasteless.
What's up, Artosis?
It's time for RagnaroK to roll because this is Flash. If he can beat him here and get out of this group, his name has been made.
That's very true.
You know, we know those of us who have followed the GSL a long time, like Tasteless and myself, who basically casted everything, know who RagnaroK is, but he doesn't have any really impressive things that he's done. He's not a player that I'm like, I can't wait, RagnaroK is playing tonight. But maybe if he gets out of this group, he starts to gain some of that.
Yeah, certainly. You know, let's not forget it was Nesty, who was his ID was Zergbong back in the day.
Yeah.
Failed StarCraft 1 pro gamer. And, you know, once StarCraft 2 comes out, he's suddenly in Season 2 of the GSL, becomes the world champion.
Yeah.
You know, the crazier things have happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have a drone scouting all around the place for RagnaroK right now. Now, he should have known that Flash only has 45 cheese and not sent that drone over there. That's a lot of wasted mining time, Tasteless.
Well, as you can see here, we don't have a ton of stats for these two on this map. Heart of the Swarm, again, still in its infancy here.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, we're seeing just very standard builds. A command center, then a barracks.
Yeah.
And, you know, for the Zergs here, just pool and hatchery.
Yeah.
All very textbook.
You know, even if you go for a 6-spool on this map and bring drones, you're not necessarily going to kill Flash when he does this build. So
yeah, that's very true. Well, especially not if he walls in like this. You're not going to be able to get inside as easily.
Yeah, you're going to have some SCVs jumping out, maybe repairs wrong. I mean, you can kill them. I've seen it done, but I've also seen it held. So definitely a pretty safe build from Flash overall, and this is going to give him a nice economic jump, which is literally all Flash needs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, Artosis, last time we casted was World of Tanks.
Yes.
Epic games, by the way.
Indeed.
I won't spoil them yet. Go check them out.
Yeah,
Epic series.
It was a lot of fun, actually. People would really like it if they go check it out.
Yeah, they should. How was your few days off then?
It was nice.
What'd you do?
Swam a lot and read a lot.
Oh, that's right.
And I stayed off the internet.
You had a little micro vacation.
I did. And now I get to watch all of DreamHack tomorrow.
There you go.
That's my plan.
You had to make up for all that lost time from not being on the internet.
Yes.
I actually had a little bit of a cold deal last 2 days.
Oh, you poor little guy.
Cough. I keep coughing.
This is a cute little penguin cough.
My little baby penguin cough, yeah. But yeah, I'm feeling better now today, so glad that's out of the way.
Well, just in time for the second season of WCS.
Well, I don't want to miss this here. I don't want to miss games like this.
No, seriously. Well, I do want to point out that Flash has gone into a factory. Now, Flash is known for a really quick 3cc, but he's gone into factory and then a second gas. So there's a good chance that we'll see something like a Hellbat drop here.
Yeah.
And it could be something like he could go up to a starport just for Banshees or something like that. I think it's going to be a Hellbat drop, though. Flash really likes those. But if you look at the Overlord placements from RagnaroK, he's got them in such a way he can pincer in and see the exact gas timings and figure out what's coming at him, which is, in fact, a Hellbat drop.
Yeah, he's got the Overlords placed perfectly here. So he's going to be able to know everything that's headed his way. But, you know, sometimes with Flash, when Flash is involved, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, even if you know a Hellbat drop is coming, that doesn't mean you're going to live through it, Tasteless.
That's very true.
As someone who has been Hellbat dropped before when he knew it, I can say that with the utmost confidence.
All right, so we have the medevac on the way here. Again, a lot of pressure on RagnaroK. Probably one of the last people you want to face off against here in the round of 32.
Yeah. Now, I do want to point out that he pushed a Creep Tumor and put the Roach Warren beyond that. Now, a scan is the same size as a hatchery and its initial creep. So if you make a Creep Tumor, push the creep, and put the Roach Warren in a place like that, it just doesn't get scouted, which means he's going to have the opportunity to do a Roach-based all-in that is very hard to stop.
And you know what? I don't blame him one bit for doing that. This is Flash. It's a very difficult person to beat.
Yeah.
Especially in a straight-up standard macro game, a proper game, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Now, Flash is going for the Hellbat drop, so there's a possibility he'll just fly over and see that. Now, he does have a watchtower as well in the center. I mean, he's got good map presence out there. He should see those coming, but does he go home and try to defend? Does he play a really scrappy game where he's dropping and trying to defend? And on the other hand, when RagnaroK sees what's coming, does he even leave his base with his roaches? Because those Hellbats will kill you quick.
Very quick. And there's even a high chance that actually he'll hold off that attack there. All right, now we have Flash coming in here now. And it looks like he should be more than prepared for this. RagnaroK should.
Yeah. And you know what? In fact, the Hellions going in the natural may cause more damage here. They're trying to go after some of these drones. Not the most effective yet, but they get a few.
Yeah, and a little bit of an overextension here with those Hellions as well. I felt like, oh, wait.
He might actually end up losing this. But well, how many drones can he get, I guess, is the real question here.
RagnaroK has not yet evacuated the drones. And we have a second drop coming here now at the second.
And in fact, how many drones will he end up getting? He's gotten 10 so far with everything, but he has lost a medevac and 2 Hellbats so far, as well as Hellions.
Dude, this really goes to show you how long a medevac can actually last being hit by a queen.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
But you know, what else is impressive is RagnaroK actually did a pretty good defense there overall. He had his spores up, he had his roaches around, he had everything connected by creep very well.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good defense so far. He's only lost 13 drones, so it's not like he's dead yet. You know, you lose 20-plus drones against Flash, I would say, well, I'm sorry, nice try.
And, you know, one thing to keep in mind is that these kind of attacks, you almost always are going to lose drones no matter who you're playing against. But he's doing pretty well against Flash here. Let's see if he can keep that up.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Well, Tasteless.
That was a weird ending there. I was like, look, he's doing great. And then I saw the 8 drones get bunched together and go next to the Hellbat. But
yeah, that was a little bit scary.
Game paused.
All right, so
you know, I almost said that was GG first. I was like, GG?
That would be weird. He's killed.
Weirdest game I've ever casted.
Yeah.
So we got to pause here. We don't know why yet, but we'll find out soon.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of latency in the game there. So
yeah, I kind of noticed that as well.
Just make sure that gets fixed. But 20 drones have been killed so far.
Yeah.
He has lost, what is it, 3 medevacs with Hellbats and some Hellions. He does have another one that's still flying around. So, you know, he's sacrificing a certain amount, but you got to remember these drops, they cost 300 minerals and 100 gas, as well as 6 supply. Which, you know, it's a lot, but killing drones is very worthwhile. You know, you don't really care about losing the Hellbats. They really aren't all that expensive.
Well, and the reason for that is because the drones and all the other units besides the queens come from the larvae. So if you're killing drones, then their larvae is not making attack units, it's making drones again, whereas the Hellbats are just coming from the factory.
And all the time that they're dead, you're losing minerals as well. So just because you're like, well, the amount of minerals lost in the cost of the drones, well, that's not the only thing to factor in here. So that's definitely something that we're going to have to look out for. You know, has he defended it well enough? Is Flash going to continue? Is this to the point of diminishing returns?
We're going to see soon here. And when we know why the game was paused, we'll let you guys know as soon as possible. But, you know, while you guys are waiting, definitely tell your friends to tune in here. I know a lot of the people out there on the internet don't know that Artosis and I are casting this here at GOMTV. And we'd love to get more people tuning in.
Yeah. And I think as people figure out over the next week or two, we'll get a lot of people watching once again. You know, this is still the best tournament that you're going to be able to find. These are the best players.
These are the best players in the world.
So you have to watch us.
That's right. You don't get a choice.
Yeah.
So, you know, in this series so far, you're RagnaroK, let's say. What do you do?
You know, well, his layer's almost done. He's got a decent amount of roaches. He has killed off quite a few medevacs and Hellbats. And from how many Hellbats he's killed off, he has to know that there's, like, no siege tanks out or very few, like maximum 1 right now. And there's not going to really be any Widow Mines out either. So I wouldn't mind him grabbing roach speed, maybe grabbing a Baneling Nest and some Baneling speed, because there's not going to be a lot of splash damage. There's not going to be a lot of artillery to really stop any roaches coming in and attacking, whereas his barracks unit count shouldn't be too high right now.
That's actually a very good point. I like that a lot. Now, Flash has still been doing a pretty good job. And, you know, Flash is one of these players, I don't expect him to lose too many medevacs here in this. Yeah. It's just not very Flash-like. But he does have to be careful, because if he does lose too many of those, you know, those medevacs, they're incrementing out right now.
Yeah.
You need those later on with your entire army, because the more medevacs you have, the longer you're going to last in a battle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a reactor on that starport right now, so that definitely is something that can come into play. You know, if he doesn't have that reactor on there, he's only building one at a time, he's losing them almost as quickly as he's making them, he's not going to have a whole lot.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So, you know, once we get this issue resolved, we're probably going to go right back into this game. But this is a little bit of a hiccup here in the momentum that both these guys had going into this game.
Certainly. One of the more annoying things as a pro gamer is having to sit through a pause, because it's frustrating. I have to tell you, you lose your internal clock, your internal rhythm. I know that there's a game timer, but a pro gamer like Flash that played Brood War for like 7 years pro,
rhythm.
Yeah, no, he knows in his head where he's supposed to be, and it's going to be harder to keep track of that when we actually have the game paused.
All right, it looks like we've been informed that RagnaroK's PC is lagging a little bit, so once we know what step 2 is, we'll let you guys know. But obviously, you know, you don't want your computer lagging too much in one of the most important games of your life. So, Flash right now is going to have to wait. You can see him biding his time now in his booth.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is such an important thing for RagnaroK, because here's the thing. Flash could go out 0-2 here, and guess what? He's coming back to the top 32, the Premier League in Korea.
That's very true.
That will happen no matter what. You can't stop him. You could chop off one of his hands, Tasteless, and he would still make it back. Now, RagnaroK, on the other hand, we don't know if he'll make it back. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but he hasn't proven himself as a player that no matter what will make it.
Anxiety is high right now for RagnaroK.
Certainly.
And we're going to see what exactly his future is going to be in just a little bit here. Again, it's a best of 1. That is pretty scary. And it looks like we actually got the,
back in the game.
latency stuff resolved. So.
Yeah, it looks like it. So should jump right back in.
So we're going to go back into the game here momentarily. And from there, we're going to cast it for you.
Yes, indeed.
So, again, we already had some drops. Yep, here we go.
All right, so this is actually a really nice push out from Flash. He's coming right up the map at the moment, doing a drop as well to keep him back, but there's not really enough roaches out right now. There's only a handful of them, about 11, and with 3 medevacs, 6 hellbats, 6 marauders, and some marines, that's going to do very well against 11 roaches.
I got to agree with that, Artosis. And, you know, he didn't lose a ton of medevacs, so he can still heal most of his army. Now, he's not going to try to heal these Hellbats over here. He's going to send that medevac back with the rest of his army. He just wants his opponent to reposition everything, and it's working right now. We see the Roaches chasing these Hellbats.
Picks him right up. Very red, both those units. He's got to be careful that a queen doesn't come over and snipe him. But now he's moving up towards this 3rd base.
Now, note the supplies are virtually even right now. Coming up over here on the right side, this will supply block the Zerg with this Overlord being taken out, as well as this 2nd Overlord being taken out. Reinforcements continuing to be on the way here.
Now, if RagnaroK can actually stall this out a little bit longer, he will end up having 1-1 Roach speed, and actually he's going for drops and getting a Baneling Nest. Really interesting play here. Drops not being as popular or as strong against Biotype play, but here we go. Flash, he is not waiting. He's moving right into this 3rd.
And this angle is absolutely beautiful, killing so many drones right now as they do retreat. Now hitting hatchery, it's at half health, it's at 1/4. And it is gone. The question now is, does Flash turn around and regroup, or does he continue to push forward? I would say turn around, but we'll see. Flash is the expert. I am not.
Yeah, this is a really nice move by Flash. You are the expert, Tasteless. Flash is turning around a little bit. He only wants to get into good concaves, doesn't want to overextend on creep. He's way ahead, taking his 3rd base against a 2-base Zerg.
This is some of the newer stuff we've seen in TVZ on this map. It was typical to expand to the bottom left, TVZ, but actually, in this situation, expanding to the upper right is better because you can continue to reinforce and attack the Zerg spaces while still defending that expansion.
Indeed, this is just great zoning for this map. And also, I want to point out for this strategy, Flash is playing very much like we saw Innovation play in the finals against Soulkey here, where instead of the quicker 3rd command center, he got the extra barracks and gave himself a nice army that we see now pushing right through.
It looks like this could be really bad news here for the Zerg. Nice splitting there by Flash. Still a few more Banelings remain, but this is a lot of Marauders.
Yeah, that is a lot of Marauders and quite a few Hellbats left as well. That really covers all the bases. And he is forcing RagnaroK to make nothing but units right now.
And I think he's overextended with these Roaches again. The Marauders are just too strong. 130 supply to 82. This is just going to be too much, I think.
Yep. This is just about it. The death throes of RagnaroK is exactly what we're watching, Faces. He is dead.
And the hatchery is gone. I just don't think there's any way for Zerg to recover. Too much of Flash everywhere on the map. His production and control, simply put, too good.
That's right.
GG.
GG indeed. Well played by Flash. Constant harassment, constant pressure. He never got too greedy. I like the way that he's approaching this best of one type of situation. It's very safe for him to play like that.
Just very standard, solid play. That's all he needed. And it absolutely worked. He did the right amount of harassment, got his opponent out of position, and then when he was out of position, he killed off enough drones. He attacks up at the third base. The Zerg can't get his army over there in time. The result is he takes out the third base. He then regroups, attacks in again at the second. The Zerg's already in an economic deficit, and he wipes him out. RagnaroK definitely being outclassed this game. I don't know how good his chances are going to be going up against Sulky.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sulky lost his EVZ, but I feel like that was a very specific scenario that he lost.
That
right?
was a weird game.
Will that happen against RagnaroK? Is RagnaroK going to play just like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Sulky play just like Sulky just did? I don't think so. So that's going to be a much different game than what we already saw as EVZ here tonight.
Yeah, so, the winner's match here, we're going to have Yu-Gi-Oh! Against Flash, and then the loser's match, RagnaroK against Sulky.
I got to say, I think Flash is coming out, Sulky's going to beat RagnaroK, and then I think we're going to have that rematch in ZVZ.
I think you are right. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick little break. And when we get back, we're going to go on to the next part of today's group here at GOMTV.net.